I'm about to set off on a big Central Australia tour again. 14,000 kilometres over probably, I would say, a 5 to 6 week period. Again, depending on how the going goes. Sometimes a bit quicker, sometimes a bit slower. So I hope to do, bring a number of videos travelling across the Simpson Desert, the Great Central Highway, Karijini National Park, across to Western Australia. Swim with the whale sharks, steep point, most western side of Western Australia or Australia, all the way down to Perth, across the Nullarbor, across and then back to Sydney again. So there's a bit of prep to do, and that's what this video is about. Just doing some checklists and the things that I'll be looking out for to make sure that everything is in place, ready for this trip. First thing you need to do is get your car serviced. So I have my car serviced by Toyota on a regular basis, so that way I know that it's spick and span and everything is up to date, or the servicing is done. But having said that, there's some things that I always check off immediately to make sure that I can actually do a long journey. And and the number one thing is tires. Do you have the right tires? I like to go for the chunky tires, and the ones that I had the most success with are the Cooper's tires. Sort of go for the STT Pros. You can see how chunky they are. They don't rate these tires for any particular kilometres because they're usually in rough conditions. Depending on how rough it is, it depends on how long they last. But if I can get between 20 and 30,000 kilometres out of a set of tyres for the type of roads that I do, that is good. That's a good result. Now, that's probably 2 trips around Australia, maybe, if you're lucky. And yeah, so I've got new tyres all the way around, and then I've got a couple of spares. These have already done about 10,000 kilometres, and you can see how they've already been chopped up by the stones. And I've got another one on top of the roof there, so 2 spare tyres. Yeah, so tyres are always the biggest problem in travelling around Australia, and if your tyres aren't up to it, you'll be changing tyres and you'll run out of tyres and you have all sorts of problems. So having said that, even I do get flats occasionally, on a very rare occasion, and then you need to change your tyre, so you've got to work out how you're going to change the tyre. I do have a high lift jack on top of the car here, but I have my smaller hydraulic jacks as well, which is my preference to use those because it's much easier. But in extreme conditions, I do have my high lift jack as well. Yeah, so while we're on the subject of tyres, the other thing that's really important is your suspension, both the springs, but also the shock absorbers that you have. Now, as long as they're in good condition, I think you're okay. I tend not to travel with spare shock absorbers or spare springs. As long as they're in good condition when I start, chances are that they'll be in okay condition by the time I finish. So I've serviced the car, tyres, springs. Chances are, if you get those right, you're going to have a good trip. The rest of the stuff just then makes the trip comfortable. And the things that are really important to me, one of the most important things is having enough lights both inside and also outside, so that you can do your camps and find what you need to find inside the car, or set up stuff that's also outside. So I've got lights everywhere. So let's have a quick look inside, and then we'll come back onto the outside as well. No doubt you'll see more about the four-wheel drive as we go camping and touring, but just as a quick intro, this is the setup that I have now. I have changed the configuration from a 5-seater to a 2-seater, and got rid of the cargo barrier, and then put everything else around the place differently. The big advantage of this setup is that in really extreme conditions, either hot or wet, both my wife and I can be inside. We could do cooking, do everything inside without actually going outside as well, so that's good. The heart of our operation is the iTECHWORLD power station. So I've done a lot of videos on iTECHWORLD and all the different power stations that I have for my different cars, but the one that I have here is an older one, 1300 P, I think it is. But there's a new version out as well. There'll be some links in the video. And remember to use your Adventure 8 discount code to get your extra 5% discount off their website, or whenever you go shopping for iTECHWORLD gear, camping gear, four-wheel drive gear, power stations, recovery, power backup systems for your house, etc. Just iTECHWORLD. I've been with them for a few years now, and outstanding service, outstanding equipment. Alright, so fridge, yeah, I've got my rear drawers for my tools and all accessories, developed over the last 14 years. Everything is in its place, my toolbox and everything else. Again, you'll see more of this during the trip. I'm carrying 60 litres of water. And I prefer to use jerry cans, and also another one there that's not connected but can be just used to fill up these, because that way I can make sure that my water is not contaminated. If I do contaminate one 20-litre container, then at least I've got other containers that have got good water as well. I've got dual fuel tanks on this troopy, but I still carry another 20 litres of diesel just in case. I put lights everywhere because it makes life so much easier. Lights here around the kitchen. I do innovate and make inventions as is necessary. So having the drawers this way, it means if when the car is rocking from side to side on the Simpson Desert, then these drawers will just fall out. So I've devised these little mechanisms here. And this is my locking device. I'll just sort of put that up there, and then I can access to my drawers. Yeah, so you basically improvise as necessary, and as you go in your trip. And then this locks it in place, it doesn't come out, so that's pretty good. I have two fridges. I got my Engel fridge, 40-litre fridge here. This can be operated as a fridge or a freezer. And then I've got my smaller fridge here. I think this is about 15 litres. So that's all pretty good. Yeah, so you'll see more of this during the trip, of course. Alright, what are the things that are really important in preparation? Yes, okay, if you've got things like winches, then yeah, you got to check your winch, because inevitably if something happens and you need to use the winch, you haven't checked it, chances are it's not going to work. There are so many moving parts and everything. So I do check my winch, and the things that do go wrong with the winch is, you can see here, this lever here is what you need to move in order to activate or disengage, and this will seize up. I can move it now because I have actually serviced this and put some oil in there, and then obviously connect your controller and then operate your winch to make sure that it's all working correctly. I put on some new covers to my spotlights here and clean these covers on the lights as well, so I've got nice lights. I have outside camp lights which I can activate from inside the car, and then you can see these. Okay, you can see the lights there, they come on, and I've got these lights all the way around the car as well, which then gives me plenty of light for cooking and camping and everything else. The lights the surrounding area. It stops you tripping around the car in the middle of the night. There you go, you can see. But I've got these camp lights actually also underneath the bonnet here, so that actually, if you need to work on the car in the evening, then that gives enough light underneath the engine bay here under the bonnet to be able to get access to everything you need to do in the middle of the night, if that's what you're doing at night time. Otherwise, much easier to work on your car during the day, of course. Yeah, well, it's just a quick video just to really let you know that the trip is about to start, so that will be exciting. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. I've got a put in the food, pack our bags, and then basically start our journey. And there will be some updated videos en route as we go. Hi everybody, it's Peter Zalum's Griniflix Adventure 8. Welcome to another video. I'm on a big Central Australia tour. 14,000 kilometres over a 5 to 6 week period. So I hope to do a number of videos travelling across the Simpson Desert, the Great Central Highway, Karijini National Park, across to Western Australia, all the way down to Perth, across Nullarbor, then back to Sydney again. First night camping. Oh my goodness. If you haven't done this for a while, it takes a bit of time to get everything in order. But we've survived. So we're just outside of Bourke, about an hour west of Bourke, heading towards Tibooburra. And we've had a beautiful sunset, and I'm taking some photographs, and I'll be able to show you today as well. So it's great camping in the bush, away from everyone else, so we can have a fire and stay warm. And we've got beautiful skies tonight, so hopefully we'll be able to get some shots of the Milky Way as well. Alright, well, gotta have some baked beans for dinner and maybe make some damper a bit later on. Sorted. Oh, if you haven't noticed, cooking, induction cooking makes a big difference. And I've got the iTECHWORLD 1300p, which just gives me heaps of power to run this. Makes life really simple. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see whether we've cooked the damper the correct amount of time with the correct amount of heat. Big reveal. Whoa, look at that. Beautiful. Outstanding. Okay. There we go, here we go. Here we go. Get rid of the paper. This is pretty hot. I have to see you do it with your hands. We have the finished product. This is exciting. Fresh damper off the fire with some sultanas and some other stuff in there. And the way I like to have it is with some butter and some honey. That is utopia, especially on a cold night like tonight. Beautiful. Lovely. And this is the campfire dessert. Yummy. Finish off with a cup of tea and then it'll be time to hit the sack on the rooftop tent. Alright, on that note, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If it's the first time to my channel, if you haven't subscribed already, then press subscribe, press notifications. You'll be notified when the next video is out. Thanks again for watching. See you later on the trip. Bye. Oh, big stretch for the morning. Finally, we're back onto the desert roads. We've left the sealed roads behind. We travelled almost 1,000 kilometres on sealed roads to get to the dirt roads. Wenaring is basically where the dirt roads start, and we're heading down to Tibooburra. This is looking a bit worse for wear. Burnt out, four-wheel drive ute. A tradies ute, no. Makes you wonder what happened there, eh? Anyway, so whatever happened, it happened here on the road. And then got dragged off. We will never know. Hello. Very nice looking bearded dragon. Come back! Come back! Yes, well, all the lizards are out right now and enjoying the sun. Right now it's about 24 degrees Celsius. Beautiful weather. Perfect temperature for travel out in Central Australia. To collect lizards when I was a kid, and this was one of my favourite lizards, a stump-tail skink, also known as a sleepy. They're really docile. They like to eat snails. This way. See? Here we go. Very friendly. I will let you go, but I'll take you off the road. And this is, oh, you can just hear it hiss a bit. There we go. So we'll take you off the road so you don't get run over. And you can see how I'm holding him. I'm sort of supporting his weight and just got my fingers underneath his neck and feet. And that way he can't turn around to bite me. But I can let him go over here. And then you go on your merry way. Bye-bye. And I'll go on my merry way as well. So not far from Tibooburra. See ya. And stay in Tibooburra tonight, one of my favourite towns in Outback, New South Wales. It's a fun place, great pubs. And lots of travellers there as well. And what have we got? We've got a salt lake. So we'll see more and more salt lakes as we go further into Central Australia. Beautiful weather, about 26 degrees Celsius. Outstanding. A few flies, but there's a little bit of breeze here to get rid of them. Good morning, everyone. Yes, another day. We're leaving Tibooburra, and we're heading towards the Simpson Desert. My co-pilot, Leah.
Hello.
And so we camped at the camping ground at Tibooburra yesterday. That was all very nice. Temperatures increasing. It's 25 degrees outside, and I guess the temperatures will go up as we go closer and closer into the Simpson Desert. A lot less traffic this time of year. Normally the really busy seasons around the April-May time frame. We're in September 2024 right now. I'll give you some time frames on this video. What else? Yeah, so we're expecting a good day, and hopefully we'll get a bit of photography in as well. Yeah, so far I've been using the Leica M11 for night photography, photographing the Milky Way, which has been really nice. And then the SL3, I've been using that with a 100 to 400mm lens to get that different perspective. And there'll be some photographs in the video, of course. Oh, just a quick note, while you're watching this video, I'm not sure whether you knew, but I'm associated with a number of companies, and those companies can provide discounts to my viewers and subscribers. So all you need to do is go to adventurate.com.au, just click on the website. Yes, just go shop discounts, and you find all the different companies that I'm associated with. So for example, SwiftX, so you can set up a crypto exchange and get $10 worth of free Bitcoin. iTECHWORLD for camping, lithium batteries, backup systems for your home. Red Tiger for dash cams, Vamos electric bikes, and all sorts of different discount levels are available, and there are discount codes associated with each one of those, whether it be Adventurate or something else. So just go to the website. I hope you can take advantage of the discounts, and back to the video. One of the salt pans on the way to Cameron's Corner. This does flood during wet seasons, and well, when there's a wet period. It seems to have dried out now, so we don't need to use the bypass road. Wow, look at all these swallow nests. They're in and out in here all the time, I guess. They're in and out, checking on their nests. Welcome to Cameron's Corner, the only place in Australia, don't know about the world, where you can play golf in 3 states
in one game. We've got Cameron's Corner is the corner of New South Wales, Queensland and South Australia. And we've got a golf course here. It's free to play. 9 holes, 3 holes in South Australia, 3 holes in New South Wales and 3 holes in Queensland. And this is hole number 1. A bit rough to actually tee off, and then it's the fairway. The fairway, yes, it's a pretty rough fairway to say the least. And there's a lot of shrubs, a lot of prickles, a lot of bushes. But it's a lot of fun to play here. Let's go have a look at the actual green as well. Cameron's Corner is a great place to come. If you time your journey well, you can sort of end up here in the late afternoon, early evening. The pub is great, lots of beer, good food, and there's also camping accommodation as well as hotel accommodation as well. So great place to visit, and you can get fuel as well. Yes, so you can get fuel if you need it. Very popular place, but yeah, I played golf here with my brother Rob in one of my previous trips. There might be a link to the video, but otherwise check out my channel. Oh, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then do subscribe. It's free. And press notifications, you'll be notified when the next video is out. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up as well. But here we are, we're at the green. The green is actually a brown. So you can see here, the actual green is on a lip around the fairway. So to hold the green in place, I think it's oil that's been put onto the green to make it brown. So at least that holds it all in place and the water runs off, and therefore you can see how the water runs off everywhere else. So if you get it up here, then you can, oh look, it's been actually repaired a lot. So normally this dirt is lower than the actual hole here, but it's nice here, so you can actually get the ball to roll sort of into the hole. There you go. 9 holes, you got to give it a go. And there's hole number 2. Not playing golf this time round, but I thought I'd just let you know. And now we continue our journey into the desert. What's the time? Time is 11:15. We've got probably another 4 or 5 hours of driving somewhere before we find our next camp. And it's getting warmer, of course. And really windy. Hopefully the wind will die down for the evening photography. The mandatory check the sign to see what roads are open. So Cameron Corner to Murky 4-wheel drive, okay, fine. Strzelecki track or 4-wheel drive, which is all fine. Inaminka, Murky, Hopeless, So basically the roads are open, and looks like the old Strzelecki track is open as well. So we will probably do that because that's more interesting than the new Strzelecki track. He's come to greet us. Say hello to Mr. Bones. If you don't do the right thing on Strzelecki track, that's how you might end up looking. Strzelecki track, the first part of it, going north from Murty. Well, putting the troopy through its paces. The new configuration is working a treat. So I've got my internal kitchen now. I had to move some of the bags outside to give me some space here. But Leah's enjoying her lunch in the cool of the car, air conditioning. Outside it's 32 degrees Celsius, really windy right now, so sand blowing around the place. And also lots of flies. So in the old configured troopy, where I had everything at the back and with a cargo barrier here, it meant you had to be outside to prepare lunch. Prepare lunch, everything dries out, sandy, flies, heat, and then quickly jump into the car to sort of cool down and have your lunch. Well, now we can just set it up. It's working really well. This is a damper that I made a couple of days ago, and it's still good. So with some butter, yum. I do have some updates. We met a guy on the road. His responsibility is to service the roads around here for the farmers and the companies that are doing stuff out here in the outback. And he said there's been rain all the time, really unusual for this year, which I know. This is a long wet cycle that we're talking about. And the roads are really cut up. And they dry now, but there's lots of ruts, so you have to be really careful as you drive over the crests of these sand dunes with the hard-packed road. But he's also saying that Wednesday, which is about 6 days away, there's going to be another big cold front coming over, and they're expecting another 80 millimeters of rain. So as soon as the rain comes in these outback roads, it's impassable and you can get stuck, not to be able to get through. So we'll have to sort of work out how we sort of progress. Plan is still to do Simpson Desert, and then we'll have to sort of work out how the rain's coming in and what tracks we take from there on. Right, out in the desert, it's all about the point of interest, and here we have a point of interest, blue tree. That's all, folks. Now on to the next point of interest. Good morning. We just did a camp in a stony desert, probably about 50 k's north of Inaminka, and we survived to tell the story. Yes, it was a beautiful night, really windy and hot. Right now it's about 25 degrees. I think probably only dropped down to about 22 or so in the evening. So we came off the track, now we've got to get back onto the track. And alright, this looks pretty easy. Pretty easy. Right. Back onto the track and we're off to Birdsville today. And should get there in time to get our desert pass and also supplies so that we can hit the Simpson Desert tomorrow. How exciting. sand dunes has started. Pretty windy still. It's beautiful out here on the sand dunes with the red colours and the strong winds.
So we literally drove in, got our permit, and now we're going to be driving out. So
yeah, nice. You just camp in the desert somewhere tonight?
yeah, in the dunes.
Well, we have arrived in Birdsville in anticipation of a nice easy day here. Not so. Birdsville races are on right now. The camping ground is absolutely chockers. All the districts around here, all the free camping areas are fully booked. Well, not booked, but just, well, booked, taken. And all the roads, actually even the road to the pub. The Birdsville pub is closed right now because it's only going to be walk pedestrians only. So there must be thousands and thousands of people here right now. And I suspect there might have been even quite a few people coming across the Simpson Desert to the Birdsville races. They started today and tomorrow. So we're not going to hang around, we're going to go straight to the Simpson Desert. And let's see how that goes. Right now it is bloody hot. It's 37 degrees Celsius. Whoo-wee. I suspect it's going to be like this for a few days. Oh well, off we go. We're here, Simpson Desert, and this is Little Red, so little test dune right now. I've pumped the tyres, well I've let the air pressure down in the tyres, 20 pounds on the back, 15 at the front. And then we'll go to Big Red, we'll try out there. If we can get up Big Red, then we've got the tyre pressures correct. Yay! Big Red has a number of tracks and you can just see them here. Probably the easiest one is that one, next hardest is that one, and then the harder ones are over there. But anyway, we'll try this one over here, the easiest one for starters. And if that's all going well, then I'm pretty confident about the others as well. And we'll come down one of the others, assuming everything goes well. So I'm going to try low ratio second first. And we'll see how far we get on that. Normally momentum is your friend, but we'll go slow and steady this time, and we'll just see how that works. This last section's always good. We get the rock and roll. Going down is also wonderful, as long as there's no one coming up at the same time. I think we've passed the test. I'm confident we can continue on with our journey. There will be some tricky dunes along the way, and no doubt probably catch us out here and there, but hopefully it should be okay. Leah's done this before, so she is seasoned. Well, our first detour. We've just come from the other side and there was a detour there saying we can't go this way, and so I checked out this detour to find out why. This is why. There's water in Air Creek, which is oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Having water in Air Creek still. So there's still a lot of water around the place. I imagine there's a few mozzies around here as well. Yeah, so we crossed a bit further up the creek here where it was dry. Still steep banks, but it was quite easy to get through. Right, so we're going to have to find a camp somewhere. And set up for the night. Get a campfire going. Should be a nice sunset here tonight. We've got clouds coming over as well. And maybe the Milky Way, but I guess the clouds might hide some of that. We'll see see what happens later on in the evening. Right. We've set up camp. Lots of flies. Whew. The flies go to bed when the sun sets. Probably got another half an hour or so. And or when the temperature drops below 18, which it won't be tonight. Whew. But here we are, the sunset, beautiful. There's the streaks coming through the clouds there. Quite amazing. I have to try and get a photograph. The tyre went down during the night. Why? With these big tyres, some of the tyre fitters, they put in the beads for balancing, which they use for truck tyres, which is all very nice, but when you go to low pressure, those beads pulverise and get stuck in the valve, so the valve starts to leak. Anyway, changing the tyre in the sand is not much fun. The axle support here, so that at least I can get the high lift jack off and change the tyre. Oh my goodness, I can't believe my luck, or bad luck I suppose. I was putting the fire out, some basin water, the water from the basin. My hand was too close to the bottom of the basin as I was doing that, and the steam rose up from the fire and it burnt my fingers. Ugh. They hurt right now. I know from past experiences and campfires and burning hands and fingers and picking up sticks and stuff, the best thing is to get some cold water from the fridge and just soak the burn in the cold water for as long as you can, which helps to protect some of the layers underneath the burnt area. So I've been doing just swallowed a fly. So I've been doing this for about half an hour, but I know from past experience, if you can keep it right up to about 4 hours, it really helps. But this is such a pain.
You gonna get past?
No, I'll give my hand. Okay, I guess we'll be staying behind them for a while. Until they decide either to continue or to go back to Birdsville. And this is a Simpson Desert Recovery Service. Not sure why they want to talk to me, probably not. Cheers. We're broken back.
Alright, yes, utes do have a problem when they're fully loaded up. That was a bit worse for wear, eh?
We got over the outside of once the French line,
It's a common thing with utes, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. No worries, you too. Thanks, bye. It looks like they were going that way. They said they didn't get very far. Right, we've arrived at Popel's Corner, which is the corner of Northern Territory, Northern Territory, South Australia and Queensland. Is that right? Northern Territory. We're coming down. So it's Northern Territory, South Australia and New South Wales. Queensland's up to the right. It's Queensland. Anyway, alright. Okay, we've arrived at Popel's Corner, and yeah, well, it's been going slow going. We've met up with two motorcyclists, Vincent and Albert, and they're struggling right now to get across the sand dunes. They were hoping to get to Popel's Corner here before they decide to either continue on to Dalhousie Springs and Mount Dare, or the other choice, which is to return back to Birdsville. I'm not sure whether we'll meet up with them again, but I wish them all the very best if they ever see this video. Great meeting you, and good luck, bon voyage. Okay, my fingers. Yes, skin did break on one of them, and looking pretty shitty on the others as well. So when the sun beams down on my fingers here, they really start to hurt. But we've put on antiseptic cream and band-aids for now. Hopefully that will do and we'll get better as the days go on. Alright, here we are, Popel's Corner. Leah photographing. Queensland, Northern Territory and South Australia. I had to get it right eventually. Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Yes, beautiful view otherwise. Yes, well, I think the story goes that this is actually not the right spot, but well, actually it is the right spot now, but the original Popel's Corner was somewhere over there, but the surveyors got it wrong. And then eventually they found out there was a mistake and they moved the post. Might have to do a fact check to sort of work that one out, but yeah, so there you go. And then lots of salt pans. Crossing of the salt pans today have been good and easy, so they have dried out, and there's been a main track that we've followed as we've gone through the salt pans, so that's good. That was one of my concerns. That's always a concern in crossing the Simpson Desert, depending on how much water there is. It's the salt bands that get you stuck. When the water, if it is raining, the actual sand dunes become harder and it's easier to cross. If there hasn't been any water around for a long time, then the sand is really sandy and loose, which makes it harder. Alright, well, full of excitement today. Might have noticed in the earlier somewhere, there was a recovery vehicle sent out to collect to collect a ute, twin cab ute, with a tray on the back, something on the back, canopy on the back, and that
broke its back with the yeehaw bumps in the Simpson Desert. Depending on how you approach them, if you approach them too fast, then there's so much stress on the frame of a ute that it will bend the frame severely. So there might be a video or a photo there somewhere. All right, we continue on. I'm instead of putting my fingers in front of the air conditioning unit, one of the vents there, the temperature coming out of there is about 7 degrees Celsius. That is perfect temperature to ease the pain in my hand. And if I just keep that up, hopefully that will also help with the recovery. Drama in the Simpson Desert. Huh. Yes, we got dingoes. Dingoes.
Oh, it's the first time that I've seen a dingo come to the campsite. How about that? So there's definitely dingoes around here. Won't be leaving any food out tonight. He's just gone behind the mound there. Right. Okay, Leah, you can come off the roof.
Well, the dingo came straight towards us.
Yeah, well, there you go. Better have your head torch on, they don't like the light.
Right. What, have you got mine?
Yeah, it's down here. Or somewhere, I'll put it somewhere.
Alright, so update. Yeah, we camped the night not far from here. It was great. We had a dingo visit us and did hang around our campsite for numerous hours while we were cooking and preparing our meal. So that's the first time I had to, I mean, literally 5 meters away. And it didn't matter how much I shouted and whatever, it just hang around. But anyway, eventually it did go away, so that was good. So, the fingers. I've had my hand in front of the air conditioning unit in the car for about 8 hours, and I think that all definitely helped because they're feeling much better now. I'll leave all these band-aids on. So I think, what, 10 band-aids in total? Probably for another day or two, just to make sure that the fingers are settled down and won't get any moisture on them as well. Already put on antiseptic cream, so that should be good. And then we'll investigate and how the fingers are doing. But anyway, we're knoll hunting now on these limestone knolls.
So we are at the knolls, and this is the home of the rain ancestor, Kuntili.
And what's coming in right now?
So, and the rain is coming in as we speak. So the knolls are the home of the rain ancestor, Kuntili. He came night after night with massive clouds. And by the light of his flashes of lightning, he could see 2 beautiful girls and was determined to take them as his wives. So he came again night after night with stronger and stronger thunderbolts, trying out his strength, smashing trees, and finally coming as the biggest storm ever. He killed everybody except the 2 girls. The people are still lying about as many boulders. He carried the girls off to Woola Bulana, and their camp is still there as the knolls. He named the place Warra Bulana after the spirit creature called the Warana, Don Rowland's Wangang Guru traditional owner.
Thank you, Leah, that was very good. There are the knolls.
If you want to know more about Don Rowlands, there is a video that I've done with him when we went out into his country around here and beyond. Great video, I'll leave a link in the video for you. But let's go check out these knolls. The knolls is actually pretty good. It's it gives you a high point in the Simpson Desert, and anything high in the Simpson Desert is great. So I guess this must be one of, I would say this is the highest limestone mountain in the Simpson Desert. How's that? Salt pan in the distance. the weather that's coming on right now. I mean, it's light rain right now. We'll see how heavy this rain does get, but it's pretty solid coming up from the southwest here. But it's nice to have that cool change. Right now it's a pleasant 25 degrees Celsius. A little bit windy, but it still feels cold even like that. Base is firm. There is a little bit of water on the track from the rain that's been happening over the last 12 hours or so. On the WAA line now, which is a parallel track to the French track. French track is most popular in the Simpson Desert. The WAA less popular. So you have grass growing, or the grass, flowers, flora growing. The Simpson Desert flora growing in the middle of the track, which makes it all very scenic. Possibly. So the rain has settled down, and there may be still a little bit ahead, but I think we're probably all right for now. Bit of rain, a little bit of water on this salt pan, but not enough to get worried about. Graham's been stuck out here for a day, and I'll let him tell you the story.
The old truck, she blew up an alternator, I think. Oh, we're nearly sure.
So you were losing power as you were driving?
Yeah. Oh, I lost power.
And then it just stops.
She stopped. Yeah. Got it off the track though, so no one would run into me.
Oh no, it's not bad. I thought it was pretty good going.
Yeah. Contacted the recovery people. Huh?
So have you got a satellite phone, or what do you have? A satellite phone. Okay,
yeah.
There you go. So there's rule number one in preparedness: is make sure you got communication.
There she is, mate.
Graham, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Graham,
Graham,
yeah.
So Graham's done well there.
And he's checked all his battery and everything to make sure it's all connected and everything's all.
Yeah.
It's a thing that I can't fix.
Yeah.
I can fix most things.
And it's Birdsville Recovery Service, is it?
Yeah.
And they said 3 days.
Yeah, or maybe Wednesday night
Right.
or Thursday.
Because when we drove out here yesterday, they had recovered another vehicle, a twin cab ute that had broken its back.
Broken its back.
Yeah. So that was on the back of the tray, basically.
He says he's having the day off tomorrow. He has to have a day off.
Priorities.
I'm lucky it's not real hot at the moment,
Yeah,
mate.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, bloody rain, eh? You
Yeah,
would
well, it's a
imagine.
glorious rain out here, mate. Yeah.
So,
Make it nice and easy
will
for driving.
they put it on the tray, or do they bring out the parts, or what
No,
do they do?
they'll have to put it on a tray, I'd say. Yeah.
Have they quoted you?
I paid that insurance through the Birdsville people, the recovery
really?
people, yes.
Oh wow, good work.
$495. They'll pick you up anywhere in the Simpson Desert.
I didn't even know that insurance existed.
Well, there you go. Because I travel on my own, so I really have to look after my well-being when I'm out there.
Yeah, because one of my friends got stuck somewhere in South Australia on one of the tracks there, and he had to be recovered, and I think it was $5,000 for the recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, so evidently, I found this online, the Birdsville hotel people.
Yeah.
It's $495, and if we don't use it, you lose your $495. But so a lot of people take it out.
Yeah.
So that's how they can bring it in at that, I assume.
Yeah. Well, it's a good idea. But I mean, the desert pass is almost $200, so for a little bit extra, you get a service when you need it.
Yeah.
And where are you from?
Dundarren Beach, Harvey Bay.
Harvey Bay. Wow, a long way down, eh?
Yeah, I've been on a bit of adventure. It was one thing I had to take off my bucket list.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the first time?
For the Simpson,
For the Simpson, okay.
Yeah, I've done a lot of forward driving over the Kimberleys and things like that.
Yeah.
And I've been up the Birdsville track and the Stress Lecky, all the interior track, exterior track. Never been across the Simpson itself. So it was the one I wanted to tick off.
Oh, well, what an intro.
Oh, good. It's a bit boring here sitting there talking to yourself.
Yeah, well, at least you're talking to to my subscribers and my followers.
All your subscribers. There you go. If you like this video, give it a like, a big thumbs up, and subscribe.
That's it.
To this wonderful man.
Yep.
Adventure8.com.au. I can read. So there you go.
That's fantastic. Has there been many people coming past?
No.
Were we the first?
Today, yeah.
Yeah.
2 yesterday.
We'll
There's nothing you can do. You leave me to my misery here, mate.
Yeah.
Leave me here to my misery.
I'll just,
It's a 1989 Ford Maverick, mate.
Yeah. It's a great car.
It was, yeah.
It was.
A great car.
Until a minute ago.
Until
yesterday.
Until yesterday, yeah.
Wish you all very best there. Okay.
There you go, mate. Be good.
camel tracks. You probably can't see it on the video, but they're fresh tracks from last night or this morning. So do we spot a camel or not is the question. Helping out motorcycles. Looks like Vincent out there took my advice, and they took the rig road, and we just met up with another motorcyclist, Amit, I think is his name, and he wanted to take the French line here, and we had a chat, and he did speak to the other motorcyclists, and they advised him to take the rig road. So as we chatted, now he's decided he's going to do the rig road as well, because there's lots of sand dunes later on for him to do. He'll have a lighter bike when he's used up a lot of the fuel, but some of these early sand dunes on the French line are some of the toughest ones. They're not as big as the other end, on the east end, but it's really tricky here. Get a bit of YouTube here going.
Hello YouTube. Yeah, that was easier to go there and...
Yeah, then turn around there.
Yeah, that was too heavy and was a little bit deep.
So it's Amit, is it? Amit?
Hamid.
Hamid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you do this trip on your own?
Yeah.
You don't have any friends, obviously.
Well, not those type of friends, you know. Yeah, so I decided to do it solo by myself. So there we go. So far so good, but I know heartbeats still in front of me. So.
How much water are you carrying?
Well, 10 liters.
10 litres? And how many days do you think you'll...
4 or 5. Not enough water? Well,
yeah.
I have no other option. I mean,
look, the rig road, that's a good thing about the rig road. You can go faster.
Yeah.
So you can make the journey shorter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm carrying another extra 30 liters of fuel, 10 liters water, food, my luggage. So that was about 270 something now.
270, okay.
Yeah.
Plus yourself, add yourself to it.
Yeah,
now we're looking at what, 350
another
kilos?
90, yeah. 350, yeah. I'll see how I go.
I think, look, on the rig road, you'll be fine with this setup.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So wish you all the best on your journey.
Thank you so much.
And I'll give you my details, and that way you can
so.
text me and make sure you can let me know that you survived.
Where you guys from?
We're from Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nearby.
We're going across to Western Australia.
All right. Okay.
And then eventually back to Sydney again. So we've got a 6-week journey.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh. So you must be in the middle of your journey now.
Just started.
Just started.
Just 1 week, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bon voyage. Well, that was it. That was the Simpson Desert and the sand dunes. Now we're heading towards Dalhousie Springs for a refreshing hot spa. But we've got some salt pans to cover, and also some corrugated dirt roads. The reward for getting to Dalhousie Springs is going for a swim. I've just been in for a swim, and it's fantastic. The temperature of the water is something like 33 degrees Celsius. Outstanding. There's a little walkway there and some steps to get in, so it makes it really easy. And there's even noodles there to help you to float. So that's a good thing about Dalhousie. The bad thing is the mozzies at night, horrible. So you need a lot of spray. And also, if you go to the bathroom, even during the day, you will get attacked. I went to the bathroom and I got mozzie bites on my bum, on my legs, on my arms, on my... Oh, absolutely crazy. And here, Also, the flies bite during the course of the day, so everything's going to bite you, so just get into the water as quickly as possible. When you get in the water, you get the little fish in there. In Thailand, you can put your feet into fish baths and they nibble away at your skin. A wonderful sensation. Well, guess what? The same fish are here in Dalhousie as well, so they'll nibble away at your skin and you'll get these little twitches and tangs and whatever. The joys of Dalhousie. You can see just over there a whole bunch of white cockatoos in the tree. Might be too far away for the video. The camp tonight is a Ringa waterhole. So we're in the centre of Australia right now, in some of the most remote areas of Australia. But there is a waterhole where it's fantastic camping. We're at the old Ghan Railway at the Minga Springs, or Minga Spring, what's left of it. It's called the Ghan Railway because Australia built the railway going from Adelaide to Alice Springs and eventually up to Darwin. And in order to build it, it was just impossible conditions. So they invited Afghan camel herders to help in building this railway, and that's the reason why it's called the Ghan Railway. The original Ghan Railway came through here, but it was washed away many times, and then I think in the 70s they built the new Ghan Railway, which is another couple hundred kilometres west of here. But the ruins are left to explore, and yes, my wife Leah, she and her parents came up here when she was a little kid. This was the old siding. So the old Ghan Railway was steam locomotive. So you can see a tower there in the distance there. That was the water tower. So the steam locomotive had to be filled up with that. There needed to be coal as well, so there had to be a coal loader. And then there were workers' cottages that operated this siding to make sure that the Ghan would operate. Stayed at Ringa Waterhole. That was fantastic, beautiful. We've got beautiful conditions right now, only about 25 degrees Celsius. We're heading to Uluru, Katajuka as rock in old terms. And we're going to probably spend 3 days there, enjoy some of the sights of that region before we head further into Western Australia. And we've done about 2,600 kilometres so far in the trip. We were at the old Ghan Railway, now we're at the new Ghan. It stretches all the way to Adelaide and stretches all the way to Alice Springs and Darwin. Yep. So we're about 200 kilometres from the old Ghan. Again, we've got a change of weather patterns coming through. Lots of clouds coming from the west. Forecast some heavy rain on Wednesday, which could be that. Today's Tuesday. So the rain could come in tonight. Anyway, we'll see. To get to this point, from Sydney to Uluru, that's where we are right now. It's taken us a good, let's see, we left on a Monday, today is a Wednesday. It's taken us 9 days to get here, and we've gone across the Simpson Desert. Outstanding experience, lots of good photos and videos, but you're gonna have to wait for the movie, I suppose. The power stations have been a game changer for me in outback travel. Yes, I have a dual battery system in the car, but just to have portable power where you want it and when you want it, and charge it up with solar panels, whatever, it's just so convenient. So my computer's completely flat right now, so I'm charging that up off the power station. My phone was pretty flat, so I'm just charging that off the power station. We also, all our cooking is induction cooking, so we can cook inside the troopy now. That's been a game changer also. We've had some really extreme conditions, even to get to this point, where we've had really cold temperatures, or really windy, or really hot. So to prepare a coffee, a percolated coffee, to cook up a meal, we can do it inside the car without even unpacking anything. So power station is a game changer as far as I'm concerned. If you don't already know, I am an affiliate of iTECHWORLD, and if you want to get any of their battery systems, whether it be dual battery systems for your camper, uninterruptible power supplies, power stations, you can get an extra 5% discount using the Adventure 8 discount code. Yeah, extra 5% on top of any discounts, promotions that they're running on their website. You get an extra 5%. That's of course, that's a benefit to you, but it does actually help bringing content to you guys as well. Anyway, I just want to get this video out just so that you know I'm still there, I'm still producing content, but just the big movies you're gonna have to wait for. I'll do another update as we continue to travel out west, and hopefully there won't be too many of these burning incidences again. Alright, well, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If it's the first time to my channel, you haven't already subscribed, then do press subscribe, press notifications. You'll be notified when the next video is out. Thanks again for watching. We made it to Warburton, yes, just in time. I mean, we got here about 5:10, and everything closes at 5 o'clock. You can't get into the campground. The campsite has high fences with razor wire all the way around, and in fact, even the police keep their cars in the camping site compound, and also any workers that are in the area with their trucks, they just leave those in the camping site compound also for security, because unfortunately, you know, that's the way it is out here in these communities. But anyway, we're off. Warburton is a dry town. I just noticed a sign here, no alcohol allowed. So we're heading southwest towards Perth. We're not going that far. The idea is to cut north to the end of the Gun Barrel Highway and then join up with the Wiluna before we go further to Newman and to Karajini National Park, which is one of my favourite places in Western Australia. Beautiful gorges. it doesn't matter how many times I would do those walks, they're really unique, and each time I manage to see something different and photograph something different as well. So looking forward to that. And then further on to the west coast, which will be amazing. Leah's doing well. We've got reception here.
Hello.
So at least all these roadhouses usually have internet, so I was able to connect with the world as well. Oh, just a quick note while you're watching this video, I'm not sure whether you knew, but I'm associated with a number of companies, and those companies can provide discounts to my viewers and subscribers. So all you need to do is go to adventurate.com.au, just click on the website. Yes, just go shop discounts and you find all the different companies that I'm associated with. So for example, SwiftX, so you can set up a crypto exchange and get $10 worth of free Bitcoin. iTECHWORLD for camping, lithium batteries, backup systems for your home. Red Tiger for dash cams, Vamos electric bikes, and all sorts of different discount levels are available, and there are discount codes associated with each one of those, whether it be Adventurate or something else. So just go to the website. Hope you can take advantage of the discounts, and back to the video. We've left the wet weather behind us, and we got expecting sunny days for the next week, which will be really exciting. Hoping to do some bush camping, get a fire going. The fire makes so much difference in the evening. It was cold last night, we didn't know what to do with ourselves, couldn't have a fire. Get dumped out here. Well, actually dumped. They just break down, in which case they are dumped. But there is a sign there, so I have to see what the sign says as well. It says, please don't touch anything, no problems, I won't. But it's their car, but they need to replace everything. Front assembly here, it's all cactus. So looks like they've tried to do some repairs here on the road. Eventually they'll be done. They've left a sign there saying, please don't touch anything, no problems, I won't. But that's the status of cars out here from the community. They go until they don't go, and then they just stop. If they can be repaired, they get repaired, and they keep on using them. Often they don't even bother registering these cars. Travelling Outback Australia, it's all about points of interest, and you got to stop when there's a point of interest, because there's going to be a story, something about that point of interest. And today it's a memorial to Australian rules, the most popular game out here in Central Australia. And this is a memorial, I presume it is, to the grand final between West Coast Eagles and Richmond. Yes, they are die-hard footy fans here. And so much work has gone into this. Look at this, they even got solar lights as well to light it up at night time with flowers and black and gold stones here for the West Coast. No, this is for Richmond. And then the West Coast Eagles as well. Sunglasses, Aussie rules. It's all there. What a plaque. Go Richmond, eh? This must be one of the most unique memorials and plaques to Aussie rules in Australia, I would say. Oh, well, let's go find the next exciting point of interest in Central Australia, in Western Australia. Yay. Car's going well, incidentally. Everything's looking pretty good. Tyres are looking good. Yeah, so car's going well, which is exactly what you want it to be doing out here in Central Australia. One of the rarest flowers in Australia is the Sturt Desert Pea, and here it is. You have to be really careful as you drive along the outback roads to spot them. And luckily I've got my spectacular spotter, Leah, and she has spotted the Sturt Desert Pea. Look at these amazing flowers. Incredible. Yes, they need the special conditions, the right dry conditions, just the right amount of moisture, and apparently they do sort of like to grow when on the graded mounds or graded roads, I've noticed. Yeah, it's amazing. There you go. Another point of interest, Outback Australia. Well, best time of the day. As the sun sets in the distance, we've set up camp. We found ourselves a place just coming off the Great Central Road, a place called Cosmo. And we're going due north now to join up with the Gun Barrel Highway. And this track here is just like the Gun Barrel Highway. Incredible. Just, you know, basically two-wheel track going through the bush. So we'll have more of this tomorrow, but just wanted to get some photography in. I'm shooting mainly with the Leica M11 actually. I've got the 35mm Apo f2 on here, and I have been doing some close-up work, which is one of the advantages of this lens, besides, you know, super detailed photography, 60 megapixel camera, etc. You don't need 60 megapixels to photograph flies. But I love this time of day, and the temperatures are perfect. 27, around 25 degrees Celsius, and we'll set up a campfire. It's going to drop down to about probably around 10 degrees tonight. I think it's going to be pretty cold. So yep, some more photography as the sun sets. We'll probably have some nice skies, some twilight shots, etc. I better help Leah set up camp and campfire, collect some wood. Love this tree. Might be able to get some shots tonight. We've got pretty close to a full moon tonight, so we'll try and do some Milky Way stuff, night photography, and the moon silhouettes. See what we can come up with. Well, welcome to another day. We're at we're just outside Cosmo Newbury. It's a Aboriginal community, and we've been coming down the Great Central Road. Yeah, it's a long road to say the least. Mostly dirt, a few sealed sections, but otherwise pretty fast. But we're taking the Lake Wells Road now from Cosmo Newbury, going due north, and it's going to be joining up with the Carnegie track, which is the end of the Gun Barrel Highway. and then we'll be heading west to Wiluna. So I haven't been on this track before, so this is all very new. We've got a connecting track to the main track, so we can see how fast the main track is, because this connecting one is quite slow. But it was a fantastic camp on Dingo Bluff, so that's something I've recorded on my map for future reference. But we're expecting good weather for the next week, and heading up to Karajini. There was a big dump of rain earlier this year around the March-April timeframe right across Western Australia. Huge amount of rain, and what that has meant, there's a lot of groundwater, and close, the water table is quite high. So there are flowers everywhere, and most unusual flowers that you would just never see in the desert. And look at this area here, it's just pink. And with all these succulents, I suppose that's what you call them, where the leaves are full of moisture, or even bubbles of water to a certain extent. And you got the purple flowers. There are all names to these, and I will do some research, and hopefully there'll be some some reference in the video of all these magnificent sights around here. Incredible. Got a sand goanna here in the bushes. We'll see whether we can get him on video. He's right in front of us here. There he is. Look at the size of him. There he goes. Yep, so I had to sort of brake heavily so we wouldn't run over him, which is good. He lives to tell the story. Nice. You can see my brake marks. There they are, my skid marks. Alright, whoa, what can I say? This is the Outback. So we've been going for about 200 kilometers, or maybe 2 or 3 hours now. And other than a grader that was repairing the road here, there's no one else out here. So there should be an intersection about 3 kilometers up the road there before we start heading west towards Wiluna. So whether we see anyone else again, I doubt it. I'm still flabbergasted by the colors sometimes that the desert brings out. And there is a strip here, I guess it's a bit of a floodplain, where these flowers have just come out in this incredible pink color. I've never seen anything like it. That is the flower, and there's just millions of them here. Look at it, the whole field, the field of pink. So, read cameras. Okay, I've got the SL3 here and the 100 to 400 f5 to 6.3, I think. Yeah, f5 6.3. So that's what I'm keeping mainly on the SL3. And then using the Apo 35mm f2 for the Leica M11. So that combination seems to be working quite well for now. And I'm using the wide angle lenses on the M11 for the night shots. Okay, 26 degrees, the flies are out. Better get back in the car and keep on moving. counting the carriages.
Six. 246 carriages.
246 carriages. Each carriage is 10 meters long. That's 2.4 kilometers long. At Hammersley Gorge, and this is a beautiful gorge, lots of swimming holes, a choice of the main swim hole, which then you can swim all the way up the different gullies, going all the way up, and also the smaller holes that are further up
As we go up the ridge line.
This formation was made 4 million odd years ago or thereabouts, with the uplift of all this area, all this sedimentary rock, and then all the tectonic movements, and you can imagine how plastic all this might have been, just moving and then forming solid shapes. Yeah, so that's this gorge for this morning, and then we're going to do the Joffrey Gorge in the afternoon. The lens I've taken out today is the 16-21 18-21 Elmar f4 lens. Yeah, it's been ideal for these sort of cramped conditions. It is midday, so it's a bit hard with the lighting. Hopefully this afternoon, when I'm in Joffrey Gorge, the lighting will be a bit softer and we'll get some decent shots as well.
And then I'll reach up and give you my hand to come, if you want to come down on this one. And I'll take your hand and I reckon step one down here.
You've got another ledge there if you want to start with that ledge.
This one?
Yep. Down to that one, yep.
Okay.
And if you can just bring your other foot forward, yep. And then step down there.
Look at this.
And it's a nice easy walk to the end.
Oh,
Famous last words.
amazing. Thank you.
No worries. Without me falling over as well. Slippery water.
Yeah, maybe you should go out there, Daniel.
Yeah, good point. Yes, slippery.
So you still have to go down that ledge down 2 steps. That one and then the next one down. Do have a step there and then you can go down. You okay from there? That's it. You're there.
Well done.
Okay, so quick intro. What's your name?
I'm Daniel.
Daniel?
My name's Charles Proud.
Charles.
Chalice.
Charles. Charles. Fantastic. Well, Daniel and Chalice, well, thank you very much for posing.
No worries.
I'll give you all my details, YouTube details.
Oh,
and then
beautiful.
I'll pass on some
Thank you
photos and stuff for you.
for helping me around the corner.
Of course.
No problem.
Of course.
All right, what are we going for now? This is the waterfall. But you could imagine if it was raining and we did have a waterfall, we probably wouldn't get down here.
Well, welcome to another day. We're off to Coral Bay, but there are some big things coming along the road here. Check this out. How do you balance 8.5 on a 3 meter wide truck?
Right, fellas, you get them sew up.
They were shovels. Huge. Unbelievable. There you go. That's what happens out in the west. It's big out here in the west. We made it to Western Australia. We made it to the Indian Ocean. So we've made it all the way across Australia, over 6,000 kilometers of mainly dirt road. It was incredible. So it's a really exciting trip. At some stages there were sections there, we go traveling for almost 2,000 kilometers of dirt, and we're just seeing half a dozen cars, so it's pretty remote. You want to make sure that your equipment is really up to scratch. But anyway, updates. Hand is repairing well after the burns about 8 days ago, so the skin's pretty red raw underneath these band-aids, but at least I can go swimming and then put on new band-aids just to protect it from the sun. Put on moisturizer so the new skin doesn't go all crispy and stuff, and no infections, so that's really good too. But here we are, Western Australia, Indian Ocean, the first sunset for our trip over the ocean, which is really amazing. All right, now you might have seen a little promo video that I normally run with regards to the shopping discounts that I offer to my subscribers and viewers. If you go to adventure8.com.au, you'll go to the shopping tab and you see all the discounts that are available through the affiliate companies that in some manner or form work with my YouTube channel to support this channel so that I can continue to bring the content to you guys. So that's really exciting. But anyway, I will get on. I'm going to have a bit of a swim. The water is really nice. It's it's bath water temperature. Well, not quite that warm, but it is really nice. But you're going to have to sort of go out a bit in order to get wet. So I'm just going to drop off my camera and come back out here and have a bit of a swim. So that's the update. If it's the first time to my channel, you haven't already subscribed, then do subscribe. Press notifications, you'll be notified when the next video is out. And if you like the video, then give it a thumbs up. And if you can take advantage of any of the affiliate companies that I work with for my channel, then please take advantage of those discounts. Also, do comment, and if you're taking advantage of any of my discounts, do comment, send me a message or something, either via my website or via the YouTube channel, and I'll be more than happy to respond. Until the next update, cheers, bye. Out with Coral Bay Eco Tours today, and we're going to do the Turtle, Glass Bottom Boat and Coral Reef snorkeling tour. It's a 3-hour tour.
I was just saying we're having some technical difficulties, so we're having to board at the back today.
Oh, okay.
That's you with the 3-hour turtle tour.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Oh, just a quick note, while you're watching this video, I'm not sure whether you knew, but I'm associated with a number of companies, and those companies can provide discounts to my viewers and subscribers. So all you need to do is go to adventure8.com.au, just click on the website. Yes, just go shop discounts and you find all the different companies that I'm associated with. So just go to the website. I hope you can take advantage of the discounts, and back to the video.
Has anyone heard of coral bleaching before? We get a few whispers about it in the media. There are a few misconceptions about coral bleaching. First of all, bleached coral isn't immediately dead. It's a stress response, and it's supposed to be a survival technique. It's quite natural for a coral reef to bleach to a certain degree, but what we're seeing at the moment with climate change is that these bleaching episodes are happening in very unnatural proportions around the world. So there's a few different reasons why a reef might bleach. Basically, its home, the water, has become inhospitable. That can be from a few different things, ocean acidification, pollutants from farming runoff, or even tourism. Like people put lots of sunscreen that has all these chemicals in it that the reef doesn't really like. It can even be fresh water. Just too much rain can really impact the ecosystem because it's obviously a saltwater environment. And the main one we're hearing about in the media is temperature. So just a 2-degree temperature change above what is normal for that reef is enough to trigger a bleaching episode. And what's actually happening is that zooxanthellae, that colourful algae, is getting kicked out of the polyps' cells, out of their body. They basically blame that algae for why they're not feeling well, And the idea is that if a new tidal flow comes through with some nice water that is good for living in, they can just recruit that algae back and crack on like nothing happened. But if they're left in that state for too long without the water improving, they basically start to starve because they can't get that photosynthesis going anymore. And that's when we see coral mortality. So what happened here in the bay was actually a little bit different. The bleaching event was triggered by the reproductive cycle of these corals. So every March we have the coral spawning event here on the Ningaloo Reef. What happened here that was really unlucky a couple of years ago is when all of the spawn was released, we had only onshore winds for about 4 or 5 days. And then because that spawn was trapped here, it started to seep all of the oxygen out of the water. So it was technically an anoxic event, which means that quite a lot of the marine life suffocated. We lost tens of thousands of fish, but because we had the combination of no sunlight, lots of bad bacteria in the water and no oxygen, that whole patch closest to the bay did reach coral mortality, which was really sad.
Welcome to Shark Bay. Yeah, we're not far from Monkey Maya. We've been driving down from Coral Bay. 20 k's down the road there, we're more inland. It was 35 degrees Celsius, and now here, so in the middle, this peninsula goes out in the middle of sort of Shark Bay, a combination of that, and it's 10 degrees cooler. 25 degrees versus 35. But anyway, what's so special about this location where we are? Shell Bay. Shell Beach. This is called Shell Beach. Can you guess why? It's entirely made up of shells. Look at that. All shells. Apparently in places it's 9 meters deep in shells. Over millions of years. Created and deposited in this area. Amazing. And then beautiful coloured water. The shells are actually a bit bigger here by the water's edge, and the really small shells are further up. Beautiful. There's a dolphin just here, off the shore here. Amazing! Well, now they say there's a lot of dolphins around here. So we're at Perrin Point right now, and this is famous, and Monkey Maya is famous for dolphins. Lots of cormorants around the place, and this, look at the beach here, it's full of cormorants as well. These cormorants still asleep. Welcome to Steep Point. Well, actually Steep Point's just a bit further up, but this is actually this is a more interesting scene. So we're on the road from Steep Point to Thunder Bay, and Leah is demonstrating how not to get too close to the edge of the cliff here, because it's unforgiving around here. But this is the wild, wild west. If we look as far as we can, we'll see Africa.
Awesome, isn't it?
Okay, well, we're driving along the cliff edge of Steep Point, so we're actually heading southeast, and that's the reason why it's no longer the most west. You can just see on the map here, Steep Point's right up here. We're going along here. We're going down this cliff edge here, hugging the cliff, right down to Thunder Bay, which is amazing. Incredible blowholes down there. It's slow going, the rocks are really hard and sharp, and the tyres are low because of all the sand around the place, so you have to go really slowly so you don't pinch the tyre on the rim. The last thing you want out here. There's no one been on this track for at least the last couple of days. The track is completely covered with sand and wind-blown sand. So I imagine you don't get rescued here quickly, and there is no mobile reception out here, so make sure you have your GPS navigation system and emergency beacon. Straight down. Once we go straight down, we can go over that edge, and that's nice and safe.
Oh, well, just to have someone else to confer with, or someone to drag you out. Did you go?
Pretty hard to cover. We're at the famous Thunder Bay blowholes, and already I can feel the mist coming up from the breaking waves up through the gullies here. It's incredible. But wait till we get to the blowholes. We have to climb down here somehow, or get down through there. The waves crash into the cliffs here, and wherever there's a crack in the cliff, it pressurizes that crack or cave, and then the water and the salt spray just all comes screaming up these blowholes. So we'll go check them out. We'll go find them out. Leah and I have got walkie-talkies with us because it's really easy to lose sight of each other, line of sight, and that way we can still talk to each other. I'll just test it out. Leah, are you there?
Yep, hear you loud and clear.
Okay, it's working. All right. So these blowholes here are the ones that are normally pumping with mist coming up like anything, but right now they're quiet. All right, the conclusion is that it must be low tide because there's not enough water coming into the caves to pressurize these blowholes. Oh well, have a look around a bit more and then we'll head on back to our bush camp tonight. This is our bush camp. I've used this bush camp over the years whenever I've come to Steep Point, so it's been great. But I think someone has been here during COVID period because they've got a bus there, they've set up a toilet and everything. But it looks like no one's lived there probably for the last year or so, I'd say at least. But anyway, I'll leave all that alone. We'll come here, we'll stay the night, tidy up, and then leave as if no one's been here. So that's great. But we've got a beautiful sunset happening, I think, and yeah, so it's going to go down. I think it's going to light up these clouds really nicely. And we're at the bay here, so the water level here is so shallow. And the difference between high tide and low tide is probably about a half a kilometre, I'd say. So I think the tide is coming up, so we might be able to have some nice photographs here with the pools of water and the rivulets of water that sort of come up. Go down there, we'll try experimenting. I've got my cameras already lined up. Got the fireplace going, that's the main thing. And yep, there we go. The SL3 and the Leica 11 with the Apo 35 and the 100 to 400. Yeah, the new lens that Leica have produced. Alright, let's get some shots and see what we can get. Incredible! Over so far, almost 12,000 kilometres across Australia, through the centre, down the west coast of Australia, and now we're heading east, down the bottom of Australia as well. We're at the Great Australian Bight. This is it, where the limestone cliffs here, well, the limestone Nullarbor Plain, which is one of the largest deserts in Australia, and it's made up of all this limestone, and it just falls off at a cliff here in the Great Australian Bight. And this is one of the most picturesque sites in the world. And if you find a track that goes off the highway, not the main observation area, but one of the smaller tracks, you get to locations like this where it is, you see, you look as far west as you can in one direction and you see just cliffs and blue water, and as far as you can in the other direction to the east, and you see the same. It's incredible. One of the most majestic scenes on the planet.